want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin, he was beautiful, good and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die. The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Balder's mother makes everything in the world, fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness, swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Balder's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
Dillion is in there. Don't forget. You can feel it. You need the runes to find Dillion. You need Dillion. He's waiting for you. He always said he would wait. He's close. He cares about you. He's close. He loves you. Calling you. Dillion. Dillion, we're here. Dillion. We're nearly here. Go through it. It's dangerous. Follow it. What's behind the gate? Where will it take you? It's not safe. Dillion. There he is. There he is. What are you waiting for? Quick, find a way. Find him. Go through before he disappears. Dillion. Where is he? Where's he gone? We're in the wrong world. She's not here. She's in the wrong world. He's not in this world. He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world. The dark. The dark.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillion taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of colour stretching away from the gloom. And Senua explored new paths into the unknown.
The gods feast and rejoice and amuse themselves by throwing spears and stones at Balder, striking at him with sword and axe. But he comes to no harm, whatever they do. The gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Balder's mother, "Is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe?" "I did not ask the mistletoe," Balder's mother confesses. "I thought it was too young." Oh dear.
Dillian cared for her like no one else has.
Dillian's the only reason she's still alive.
Senua, you've got it.
Why isn't he here?
He's gone.
Dillian's in the dark world.
He's gone to the dark world.
You're in the wrong world.
He's in the other
Do you
world.
remember the way he spoke to
Elsewhere.
you?
Do you remember the way he felt?
Senua.
Do you remember what it was to touch him? Do you remember how he made you feel?
She thought she had light within her when she was
She is pure darkness. Everything gets broken in the end.
You killed him with your love because he believed in you. He was the only one she could trust.
Could she trust him? He didn't believe that she was cursed.
He saved you when everyone else turned back. There he is. Where are you taking
He's
him?
up there. He's up there.
You're still alive and
There's a way.
deserve to
There is a
protect.
way up there. She can do it. You're nearly there. She can find the way.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part. Huth says, "I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon." Loki replies, "Here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands." And Huth throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Huth is slain.
You have no chance for love now.
Nobody will love you again.
Ever again.
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Balder's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
You had that loved you. You squashed it, strangled it, flattened it.
The curse cannot. Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zinbel and her past, and Dillian, her future. Two realities tearing at her soul.
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Balder return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Balder stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Balder, weep him out of hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they find in a cave. Balder was never my friend, she says. Let Hel keep what she has. The Northmen say that the giantess must have been Loki in disguise.
He saw that she was strong. Dillian saved you. Dillian cared for her like no one else has.
Dillian's the only reason she's still alive.
to watch you fall. What if these trials mean nothing? Laughing at you. What if they take you no closer to Dillian? Dillian, and you're letting this get in your way. What if they are just to tire you out, to make you weak before the battle? Do you remember him whispering in your ear? What if this is pointless? What are you doing? Why did you think you could make this work? You keep seeing runes. You see runes everywhere.
The Northmen tell how the gods punished Loki for Baldur's death. They captured him and took him to a cave. They fetched his 2 sons and turned one into a wolf, and he ripped his brother apart. The gods used Loki's own son's entrails to tie him down, and turned these bonds to iron, and dangled a poisonous serpent over his face, so that its venom would drip onto him. Each time the venom drips onto Loki's face, he writhes in agony. The Northmen say that is the cause of earthquakes. A reminder, perhaps, that if even gods must accept death, then so must we.
He saw who she could be. He saw who she really was. He saw the warrior within. The curse. And now the darkness is swallowing you both. Do you remember the way he touched you? He's the reason she's alive at all. What if they're all about wasting your time, just delaying minute by minute by minute? What does she think she's doing? You special. They mean nothing. Special. Waste of time. It could all be a waste of her time. The gods are just playing. What if the gods are laughing at her? Messing with her. It wouldn't be this. Dillian! Be the first time. It's not safe. You're going to fall.
Dillian never much cared for the underworld,
You're going to fall.
and looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Zinbel.
She can do it. You can do it.
I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see, and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillian's arms, learned to see the world through his eyes. And slowly, the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Very careful. You've come this far, don't let it slip away. It's a narrow bridge. And there's a long way to fall. No! Where's he gone? It's your fault. He's disappeared. You've lost him to the sea. He's gone. You've lost him to the... Just gone to the water. He's drowned.
Senua, your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So someone is afraid of the dark. Should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world? You Only you can see just to be rid of your nightmares. Or is this the price you pay for the gift you have? A gift that makes you so special in my eyes. Just another part of the person I love.
I left for the wilds to protect you from my darkness. Because I love you. But it made it worse. I'm so sorry.
What if this is pointless? What if you're wrong? What if this has nothing to do with the soul? What if we're wrong? The soul will never be yours. What if this is the end? It's just a trick. It's just a pointless test. You've been fooled before, you could be fooled again. You're being tested. You don't know. It's just their game for you. You never know which way it's going to go.